being the mayor of New York City is a big deal.
A communist and a fascist walk into a bar.
I think he is going to surprise some conservative people.
And the bartender says it's happy hour for the free press.
Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
That's okay. You can just say yes.
Okay. Meanwhile, in Minnesota,
one of the biggest welfare fraud waves in U.S. history.
The Somali tax theft schemes are the new Nigerian email scam.
$1 billion of your tax dollars with a B.
Just in time for Christmas.
Introducing Governor Tim Walz, the fraud edition.
They're all showing their teeth on this 10 minutes of truth. Folks, Friday in Washington, we witnessed a moment that shocked many. Donald Trump and Zohran Mamdani sitting together in the Oval Office. Well, Mamdani was forced to stand, at least during the press conference. But, Bob, it really was not what anyone expected.
No, it was weird. I mean, I can't decide if I think it was weird or if I think it was normal because, let's face it, like, there is no world in which like Trump or any president is going to sit there in the Oval Office with any person and be like, this guy sucks. He's a piece of crap. Like,
right.
Although, to be honest, that almost sort of did happen when Zelensky was in the Oval Office. So maybe with this crazy president, that could potentially happen.
Yeah, I think everybody expected that moment, like with Zelensky, was going to happen with Mamdani.
Right. Yes.
But it didn't. So, but what happened is I relate it to like when you see those videos of the two dogs like fighting and biting each other through the fence, and then you open the gate and they're like, "Oh, hey, how are you? Hi."
That
nice
is
to
an
meet you."
excellent analogy. Yes,
Yeah,
that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
I feel like it went down exactly like we would sort of expect it to go down. Like they're not going to sit there and trash each other in person. But Trump was super nice and Mamdani was actually pretty nice. I think they both kind of realized like we kind of each need a little something from each other. Mamdani it clearly needs more from Trump because the mayor of any city needs his federal money and Trump can hold that up. Although, to be honest, if Trump tried to hold it up, then there would immediately be a flurry of lawsuits. So like everything with this president is just so radically different because of the left's insane lunacy and hatred of Trump that
and their expectations.
Almost nothing
is supposed to happen here.
Right. Nothing goes normal anymore.
And the best moment to me was when Jackie Heinrich from Fox News asked about Mamdani calling Trump a fascist. I'm going to play that right now.
All right, cool.
Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay. You can just say yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay. It's easier. It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind.
That is good. And that is true. Trump was right. It is easier to just say, yes, I think he's a fascist.
But when things like this happen, I always go straight to like, what is Trump up to now? Like he's somehow trolling everyone. Like, hey, the guy that I'm supposed to hate the most, I'm going to make him my best friend. And you guys are going to have to watch. It's like walking into the crowd and here's the big bully, right? In the crowd. And you walk up to him and you say, hey, man, let's be friends. And then all the bully's little friends have to be friends with
like,
you.
What?
So,
What just happened?
So Trump, I don't know what he's up to, but
I don't either.
Then the thing that happened next was that Trump, like within hours, he posts on social media that he's revoking the Trump temporary protected status for Somalis in Minnesota immediately, saying Somali gangs are terrorizing the people of that great state and billions of dollars are missing. Send them back to where they came from. So Trump, like, meets with him, gets in front of the media, and then immediately spins it and does something super controversial. And so how is Mamdani supposed to react to that as a Muslim?
Yeah, I don't know, but it's a great sort of way of realizing that these are not related issues. Just because the mayor of New York City, who is a communist, happens to be Muslim, that does not really have anything to do with the fact that Somali warlords are scamming the Minnesota taxpayer. That's a fact. Like that is happening
and dictating elections.
The guy who recently lost, Fateh, he probably lost because of clan warfare. One Somali clan hates a different Somali clan. And it's like Matt Walsh pointed out, like, are we at the point in America now where we have to worry about which clan from which Somali warlord clan? Like,
where's the polling data?
Yeah, like
where's the polling data on the Somali clans for the Minnesota elections? Because
I'm not sure
like,
which clan I'm into.
It used to be like, how are suburban women leaning going into the elections? Now we're going to have to say, well, what are the warlords in Somalia saying about who should be the next governor of Minnesota?
Yes, that's where we are. It's
hey,
frightening.
I'll tell you, and the local politicians here in Minnesota are getting an earful, and the media is not letting up. This thing that Trump did, it's basically a reaction to all the media reports that have been happening in this state, because Minnesota taxpayers, according to the reporting, are being scammed by Somali social services fraudsters. Much of the money, according to these new news reports, is actually being diverted to Somalia terrorist groups. So Minnesotans are basically supporting terrorists with their tax dollars, and it's a lot of tax dollars, according to these news reports. Bob, let me play this.
What programs are we talking about? And what comes next?
Investigative reporter Ryan Raish is digging into those numbers. And Ryan, what have you learned?
Well, first of all, $1 billion of your tax dollars with a B. It's 9 zeros right there. This is what made headlines this week. The number came from U.S. Attorney for Minnesota Joe Thompson speaking to R.J. Coles. That's how much fraud he thinks we could exceed in Minnesota when all their investigations are done. Now, keep in mind, the U.S. Attorney knows a lot more than what the public knows right now. Here's the rough number we do know: $430 million in fraud prosecuted here in Minnesota in just the last 5 years.
Bob, what do you think would be happening if that was Virginia? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. The new attorney general elect fantasizes about murdering me and other conservatives. But let me ask the left a question. Is it good, like, when you allow in third world people from countries where politics is done with fraud, like there's every ounce of their political world is fraudulent, such as Somalia, borderline failed states. You let these people into our country, and then, far from wanting to assimilate to the American way of life, they
want to turn it into a failed state.
Thank you. And look at Ilhan Omar. Listen to any time she speaks. She says regularly that her loyalty lies first with Somalia, and then way second is the United States. But Somalia comes first. The interest of Somalis come first. And when you allow these people who come from these fraudulent countries into the United States, and like I said, far from trying to assimilate to our way of doing things, they do it the way they do it in Somalia, which is fraud, stealing, clan warfare. I mean, so you've brought the third world into the United States. Please, left, please explain to me, how does this help the United States? Please, I would love to hear how this helps us. Anyone.
And I would love to hear the local media, which they are doing, stay on this story, because right now they are just hammering these politicians, and they are staying on the story. This is what we need local media for. In fact, it's so bad here in Minnesota that there's a new Tim Walz toy to supplement the tampon Tim toy that was already released. Look at this, Bob, just in time for Christmas.
All right. I can't wait to buy this.
Introducing Governor Tim Walz, the Fraud Edition, the only action figure with blame-shifting action. Flick up the foam finger and he points at anyone but himself. Check out the misleading record book stuffed with crossed-out promises and...
That's good.
Blame-shifting action.
I love the blame-shifting finger. That's good. Points at anyone but himself. Yeah, that's
what's happening right now. Tim Walz is pointing at anyone but himself. He's decided that this is everyone else's problem, not his problem, and not his fault. Absolutely.
Yeah, Tim, you're the governor. How is this not? How does the buck not stop with you, Tim? You are the governor of Minnesota. I want to know what you're going to do about these fraudulent Somali crime gangs who are ripping off the Minnesota taxpayer to the tune of $1 billion. Like, seriously, it's you can't make this up. It's really unbelievable what's going on.
Well, this 10 Minutes of Truth is coming to an end, but click on this next episode here if you're on YouTube. Otherwise, subscribe or follow. We promise we'll be here for your binge-watching enjoyment.